I am it's 2 days, and I am freaking spent. I have a friend who officiates.
You have to move.
You got, yeah, that's.
I have a friend who's a former teammate. He officiates in Major League Soccer, and he sent me all this stuff, and then by video we're working out together, and I feel like
You know, if they really
fracking lasagna.
How about if they put you on one of those segways?
Oh,
Wouldn't that be nice?
good idea.
Yeah, there you go. As long as you didn't wipe out.
So it's for what soccer?
High school, because I will be one of 2 Iowa officials. They have to bring Minnesota officials down. And Kenny is getting real tired of calling a Major League Soccer match and then driving down to Iowa the next day after running 7 miles full sprint and coming down and officiating here.
Yeah.
So I hope this is the world's shortest meeting. I can't wait to stretch out.
What a day for a short meeting too.
Yeah.
I got a meeting this afternoon in Mason City. So now
Hey,
I'm gonna have
you
a
interested
time to
in
kill her
signing
and then
my
go back home
petition
and
for
And then at 2 o'clock Zoom this afternoon, but I'm gonna
I
Zoom
won't,
that.
I won't be for that.
Sure, Terry.
You're one of the few people in my district, it seems like. So there's a story behind this too. The Secretary of State's kind of messing with things.
Second
Yeah,
Tuesday.
100 for primary and 50 for,
So like,
what got into Paul? I'm just curious.
It's his lawyer.
yeah.
Whatever.
And like the recorders, the county-wide ones only need 75.
I still got 100 signatures to get. Sorry.
I saw that.
Too many things to do.
I have one less now.
Yeah,
One
there you
less.
go.
Where's your paper? You need to keep that on you all the time.
You had 2 weeks.
3, 6,
Yeah,
6, 7.
still.
I
used
can't
to
remember what
just
day it
um,
is. 3,
have my
7,
family
right?
side, especially now because all my own kids are over 18. And all my nephews and nieces are over 18. And I can get.
Thank you,
over
sir.
20 with just a tag. Now I'm gonna have,
Go knock on some doors.
yeah, I hate annoying people.
I'm just gonna stand up.
Yeah, we'll just stand up with you.
Say pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's hard not to get that hesitation in there.
Yeah. It's a habit.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
under God part really throws me.
yeah, no, yeah, that hesitation right there, it's almost like it's built into me. In theory, it's not supposed to be one nation under God.
You've been indoctrinated.
Yeah,
Mrs. Johnson always used to say, pause, continue. My 2nd grade teacher is hilarious.
She didn't want you to run out of
Right.
breath.
No, she's like, okay, kids, you're going too fast. You're going too fast. Slow down. Have respect.
my typing teacher, sem space. It still echoes through my head.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agenda.
Oh, you'd like to get to that, all right. I'll
Thank
make
you.
a second.
So you have 14 minutes and 36 seconds to break Mike, his, and his record.
So on a motion from Derby and seconded by Jensel to approve the minutes and agenda. All in favor say aye.
All right,
Motion,
Have you called Scott yet?
Scott Miners, engineer.
well, while we're waiting for Scott to come up here, we can probably go over the form out of the way, so we make this
Yeah.
quick.
Is Chris here today too, or?
Yes.
The other thing I found when I was out and about, I stopped at Paul Charleston's, got a tour of his barn.
Oh, there you go.
And then he said, oh, by the way, I still have your metal detector.
Oh.
I got that back
Oh,
after
there
5
you go.
years.
Yeah,
Are we in open forum?
Yes.
So I want to talk to you about St. Morel's phone.
Oh,
We either need to wipe it or we need to get it back or do something different than what we're doing right now.
okay.
well, either, and then she's gotta wipe her stuff out of it.
something.
I heard you ringing
thank
me there
you.
on the way out.
Oh, sure.
And so do we just need to contact her and get it back, or is there, I'm sure she has personal information on there as well.
So this is the cell phone you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay, and it belongs to,
the county.
okay,
Can she just purchase it if she wants it from the county?
Well, it's got HIPAA information on it, so it needs to be white either way.
Sure,
She can come in here and Roy can take care of that, right?
Yep.
okay.
I told her that.
Well, it's still,
Do we need to have,
it still belongs to the county,
Yep.
so it needs to come back. So,
okay, well, we'll contact her and
Is it-
ask her to bring it in to Brody, and if she, and have it wiped, huh?
Does it have any value? Nobody's gonna want it, are they?
still belongs to the county.
$99 or something like that, I think, is what the conversation might have been at one time, is what it was worth. Is that right?
I don't know.
Okay,
I say we let the IT person determine that. Almost how that should be done. He knows the plan. So I don't know if we bought it outright or if it was on a plan.
Yeah, I don't
A
know.
lot of times they won't let you buy it outright. You have, on certain deals, you have to, even if you pay for 99% of it, you have to leave so much on there per month to pay off.
I just know it has HIPAA information on it and that it shouldn't be.
yeah, for sure.
And
So,
also
should we
has
just-
personal stuff on it. So it's, a double edged on that one, as far as what to do with it, I guess. Unless you completely wipe it somehow. I suppose you can do that.
So we just have Brody contact Sandy?
That would be fine.
Okay. She did share a new phone number, though, so she has a new phone, different phone, so,
She's always said that. It's just a flip phone.
oh. Okay, well, we'll have Brody contact her and handle it. All right, go back to Scott. Is there anything else for open forum that we need?
There's just something you need to sign, a couple things to sign.
Is that the two? Okay.
I would've got it for you, but suppose you, they're all yours now.
I can do it.
Nobody can touch them.
So we could probably go back now.
Okay, Scott,
Nice agenda today.
Yeah, really.
Short and sweet. Update on what we're up to. We got stockpile going up at Lake Mills for spot loads. And then we're gonna put a little bit more in Thompson. Our budget's looking good still, and our timing of it all, we've got stockpiling done before normal, so that's all looking good. Feels good to have everything in order here going into spring. So whenever, the roads get fit, we'll have full stockpiles and be ready to hit it hard. So that's good. Another thing, Susan, sound like Ethan talked to you, but the landfill's got some company they hired to pick up some trash around there. So
that's good.
that's nice. Call that a win.
That is the one.
Sounds like there's,
I had just looked at it again and thought, wonder what's happening, and then I got a text from Ethan, so that's great.
yeah, he said that they have a new manager out there or somebody, whatever, so maybe that's helping.
Good.
Guy named
And now when
Brad
the
is
snow
out
is gone, it looks way worse.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
That's right, yeah. Snow can kind of hide it for a while, but,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, and then the other sort of big news from this week is Marcus Jensen has been named our assistant maintenance superintendent. So we're completed with that process, and we'll kind of have we'll take some time to figure out exactly what that looks like, but we'll challenge Marcus a little bit, and Ethan will be on vacation here coming up for a week, so Marcus will assume those responsibilities while he's gone. And I suppose we'll take that time to spend some time in the office too and talk about things. And he was in last week a little bit, talk about projects and things coming up, so excited about that.
So his official is your assistant maintenance superintendent?
Assistant maintenance superintendent, yep.
Good.
And that's all I have other than talk about my contract. So I guess if you guys talk about anything else, we sure can. We can jump into my contract stuff.
Yeah, I think we're
I didn't have anything else.
ready for that, Scott.
Okay. I did email out some information about salaries of county engineers throughout the state. Did you all receive that from me?
Yep.
Okay. So I sent out some comparable salaries for counties closest to ours to be most comparable. I sent you the 10 closest in population, in area, engineers in years of service, and then the closest 10 counties proximity-wise. I'll just read what I wrote you, I guess. If I had to make a case for myself, I'd say this coming year I'll reach my 10-year mark at Winnebago County, which is completely amazing. I can't believe it's been that long already. And now with staff that I've had the opportunity to hire, I think we're more flexible and accommodating to the public and the board's questions and requests. I think our communication from top to bottom is improving. Our budget and fund balances are healthy, and we have a solid 5 and 10-year plan, and I look forward to many more years here. Engineers can be hard to find, especially for small towns, as shown by Osceola County, who's been unable to fill their county engineer opening and have it posted for $130,000 plus a $10,000 signing bonus. The average county engineer salary ranges from $112,000 to $118,000 when you select counties similar to ours. And locally, you can look, to Hancock County and see their engineer making $112,000, about 9.4% higher than me right now. I'm making $102,673 is where I'm currently at. I got a note from Hancock County for their engineers' upcoming salaries about $118,000 for this coming fiscal year.
Well, it should be upset is Cassuth County. Twice as much area, 50% more population, and not much more than what you make.
131 he's making, and they also have 4 engineers on staff total. Let's see, even have 5. They kind of have a different operation than a lot of other counties.
Oh, there, eh?
Yeah, they do all their bridge design in-house, and I think they do some bridge inspections in-house. They do all the other plans in-house. I think they have one technician position that's filled by an engineer. So they got a couple of high-paying engineers up there.
So the CE, their engineering department has got more than one engineer in it.
Yeah.
They only list one salary on there.
Yeah, the other ones I'm sure I could look up. I have it here. So that's what I found for you. I don't really enjoy this day asking for more or anything, but I think that in general, I want our county to be, paying competitive salaries to all the positions, and I think our county engineer position would be tough to fill if we opened it and offered it at the salary that I make.
What was the last increase you received?
Last year, the contract increase was 4%.
Do you have any history beyond that?
Sure, I could look it up for you. I don't have it with me. And I could run and grab it if you want.
I think it might be interesting.
I don't know,
because
I guess I
need-
think it's been pretty moderate increases
Has it?
comparatively.
Yeah.
That's what I was just
But
curious.
I guess I'm looking at the present, like when he put those numbers out there. I'd just be curious if the 9% that most others got would be acceptable.
Yeah.
That would get you, closer to Hancock, but they have more land too.
So you said you're currently at 102,673?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the trick is when we give these numbers, they're all last year numbers.
Yeah.
So we don't know what any other counties are doing for raises, really, because it's all happening all at the same time. And no way to know that other than to poll everybody, and the only one I reached out to was Jeremy in Hancock County.
What are you,
His thoughts.
Oh. See, where's it?
probably would be if you lived in Winnebago County.
I was thinking that, I hate shelling that much money to a Hancock County resident.
I like to think that makes me more of a disinterested party that's going to make objectionable or objective decisions.
Oh,
I would disagree with that, but I would rather have somebody that has a vested interest in it.
Sure. Yep, I can appreciate that too. I do have family that lives in the county. I know it's land.
I will say, every time I have a question, you always are good to get back with information and data and quickly, I appreciate that. I don't always understand all the data that you're sending.
Yeah, I fortunately, Eric is a good editor for my memos and stuff like that, and he has a different background and perspective and sometimes can help on that kind of thing. To put it in more of the layman's terms. So we talk about acronyms and we kind of get lost in the jargon of the industry.
what were what do they call them? The funding, from state and federal, the county and state maybe,
The different allocations,
yeah,
the road use tax allocations
Yeah, there you go.
and the farm to market allocation.
Yeah, that's it.
The reason I put those on there is because those are a formula. So like, for instance, the road use tax allocation, well, the primary funding for a department, most people would know, is fuel tax and vehicle registrations, but it's based on road mileage, it's based on area and population. There's a couple other factors too, and then farm to market is similar. Or road use tax also has gravel miles, dirt miles, I think vehicle miles traveled, so your traffic volumes. FM is similar, except it doesn't account for gravel miles and dirt miles as much. So it kind of is it tells you how much the engineer is responsible for funding wise.
We were lowest in one and second lowest in the other.
Yeah, we have, fewer bridges than most counties. We have, small area. So we're shorter on the road mileage. Our traffic really isn't high anywhere. The most we have is like maybe 950 vehicles a day on roads like going north from Buffalo. So we don't
It's
have.
always busy when you're in a hurry.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, from that perspective, right, we have less funding than most counties.
Well, if you study that chart as comparables go, I mean, it's obvious you're at the lower end. So it's,
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that these charts tell you is that there are counties on both ends of population, area, years of service, proximity,
Yeah.
where there's some making not much, or, you know, on the lower side and some making on the higher side. I was hoping to find a better trend, you know, to say that years of service is the perfect predictor of what an engineer should make, and it just isn't.
there wasn't any one of them that was perfect.
No, and so I think it's just a matter of some counties have bigger county seats where people like to live, and some struggle to attract, you know, professionals to their small town. It's, you know, it's kind of the trick of a small town is to attract people. But, you know, if they're not from there, it's pretty tough to move there. You know, for me, it was a good fit.
Well, yeah, I mean, for you, it was even though you're technically from Kasuth.
Yeah.
So how does Hancock County's structure different from ours, or is it pretty much the same as far
In their
as?
engineer's office, you mean? They have an engineer like me, they have a technician like Eric, and then they have an assistant. It's kind of a position Eric kind of takes both, I guess. We have a few less construction jobs that I feel like we can get by with just one. For a number of years, when Trevor Wolf was here and Jim Witt was still here, our office had the same number as Hancock County. But when Jim retired and Trevor left, I took, you know, the new opening, and the other one wasn't filled. Years and years ago, we had Paul before I was here, and he was also another technician. So our office has shrunk over the last, 20 years by one person. I think we're getting by just fine. Not having concrete bridges to build in the summer, I think really makes a difference, because those take a lot of time from a technician. And also, I'm certified to do all the testing for concrete and asphalt, so I'm not the office engineer that sends his guys out to do the testing. I'm also the guy that has to, you know, step out and be on the job during those projects. That's true for a lot of counties, but I think, you know, most counties would have at least 2 guys in the office other than the engineer. But it relates to the funding thing, I think, too. The more funding you have, the more staff you have. And then they have an office manager, just like we have.
You guys have any suggestions,
Oh, I agree with
discussions?
Terry's proposal is fair. What were you thinking?
I think it'd certainly be hard to complain about that, for sure.
I guess I look at it as, it's, yeah, like you said, it's hard to tell what everybody else is gonna be getting this year, in the process. You know, if we could maybe offer the 9%, kinda in line with a lot of the others, then look at it next year and see where we're at. You know, we've been doing some multi-year contracts. We've been doing single-year contracts this year.
Right.
As far as the increases go.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the first, 7, 8 years of my career here, it was just pretty steady everywhere in the state.
Yeah.
And so a couple of years wasn't too bad to negotiate, but now things so volatile.
With the labor force like it is,
Yeah.
it's changing dramatically, and it might be good to look at it in another year and see where we're at.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my recommendation, to offer the 9%.
I'm all right with that. I was just figuring out the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11% here, so, but I think I would agree with the 9%.
He was pointing out in there that the county attorney got more than that as a comparable.
Mhm.
With all the respect for her position and everything, you know, just point that out.
Yeah, no, it's a fair comparison in a way, because you're both professionals with degrees and with accreditation.
So if we're all in agreement on that, and I don't know how much more discussion there needs to be.
It'd be more of a formality to print up the contract and approve it.
Have it on the agenda to be approved.
Yep.
Yep. You can put that together for next week.
Comfortable with that, Scott?
Yep, yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I wonder if it wouldn't be a good idea to do kind of a review sometime, you know,
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
maybe like in the, later this fall or
Yeah, I'd like to sit down and set some goals and see where we're at and, you know.
Yeah, we have kind of done that, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I think we're in a lot better place now than we were before, so I think in your office, I think it'd be good to review that.
Yeah. Well, let's maybe try to make a mental note to do that this fall or something like that, and then when it comes to contract time, we'll have kind of an idea where we're at.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else,
Of course,
Scott?
now the naysayers to all this would say that he isn't going anywhere, you don't need to give him a raise.
Right, that's why.
Which wasn't said about you, it was said about the other elected offices, including
Sure.
mine.
Yeah, I didn't say it, but I made a joke in my message to you guys. I was talking to a friend of mine in Sibley, who's the county seat of Osceola County, and we lived here before, and we were such good friends, and he moved away, and I haven't seen him in a while, but, you know, they said they'd watch our kids for free, and, you know, be really good friends moving to a new town, so we could move there. We
All of a
could.
sudden, you'll be getting economic development proposals. If we can do this for you. this
Be a little
way.
further away from grandpa and grandma. and
Yeah,
all
that's
that.
right, you know, I don't think they'd let us go.
Yeah.
They'd be willing to pay the difference in your contract.
Yeah, maybe I
Just
did.
talk to them.
Yeah.
All right, is there anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay,
Well, that ruined our shortest meeting.
yeah, thanks, Scott.
But it was worth it.
Hey, Chris, we're ready for you when you have a chance.
Have a good day.
Yep, thanks.
Thanks, Scott.
Is Sandy's received stamp?
Yes.
Did you read Sandy's?
Oh, no, I didn't read it. Just say,
Good morning.
Good morning.
The only thing I have is Bill Shutter came in yesterday and has a petition signed by various landowners to do that DD11 Lower Main. And we talked about,
Is it clean up?
yeah, just as a repair. And we talked about Helgeson is gonna do from the river to that gravel road where the 3 culverts are,
Okay.
just right east of Leland. And so I sent out a letter to the landowners for that part's getting done probably this week. Because they wanted to do it before the snow melted and the river got too high. So they wanted to do all that. And then in talking with Carla, because we don't need an engineer, because we know, we already have that report, that if we just clean it, that we're okay. Thinking about maybe just getting some bids from local contractors, wondering what your thoughts are on that.
Request for proposals.
Yeah, Yeah, and then I know
So
in,
we'll have an exact, with that engineer's report, we have the exact distance and points that we're going.
right,
from.
and Bill thought that it needed to be cleaned from then that gravel road to the next gravel road. So that mile stretch, I don't know how many feet it is because it winds and twists and turns, but he thought after that it was pretty
Wasn't that
good.
in that report?
Yeah, the report's at 3,000 feet approximately, so that,
But if you define the points from this bridge to this bridge,
yeah,
then they have to determine.
right. They just can't straighten it, would be the only thing. I think it's a good idea to just get some quotes and see what we think. How far do you wanna go? We have 3 in the county, we've got A1 that's in Worth, we've got Hollins and Hancock. You know, how far do you want me to reach out?
Yeah, Larson.
And Larson's, right. Larson's, Rognus, Helgeson, La Harve, then the 2 I mentioned.
If it's being bid, everybody should get a chance to bid. Yes.
Right, and it's not a bid, it's just an estimate.
Oh, it's just an estimate,
Mhm.
clean it for this.
Mm-hmm,
Oh,
yep.
So
I misunderstood.
I'm just wondering, is there anything in there about outlets into it?
There is maybe a little bit of private tile, but, you know, it's been so overgrown for 100 years that
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's tiled
Because
right to
sometimes
it.
it's got- You know, when an engineer specs out things, he'll say, you know, you have to almost give prices on replacing the outlets or whatever.
And we can do that,
There,
you know.
there are a couple of the contractors that consistently come in with the bill under the bid, or in this case, the amount.
Right, and we know we have that amount in the estimate from Rick. Maybe we don't need that much riprap, you know, save some money there. Is there any other contractors you guys can think of?
The Yankee up there, but I don't think he's got a long stick.
Oh,
He's got a backhoe now, or an excavator, but he doesn't have a long stick.
okay.
It's not real deep through there, but still, it's nice to have the long stick for whatever.
Well, you could, I guess you could put it out to him, I guess.
And I don't know, with the trees that are left there, I don't know how easy it's gonna be to get equipment in there.
So is this tree removal and cleaning? I mean,
We've
what is
already
the
removed
scope?
the trees.
The trees are
In the waterway,
in
Yeah.
the waterway.
Right.
but they may be in close proximity.
So where you might need the long stick, cause you're gonna have to go this way and then go around the tree and come back this way and.
I mean, I've seen from the road what it looks like, but.
Right.
I just had a phone call from Jim Amberson wondering what was going on. He's worried.
Right,
And I said, well, at this point, they wanted to wait, but now we have a petition, so we have to fix it.
right, and.
He'll be happy to hear that.
Right. I said to Bill, I wish we could just have a good year where there's some crops, a little bit of rain, not a lot, just to see how everything is going to flow. We just haven't
And
had
that's what I
that.
told him, we were watching it. You know, I told him I'd get a hold of Dale Benson and go out there and see if there's some issues.
Right.
Now, this will take care of it.
Yeah. So I think that's what we should do. I will get together with Carla and come up with kind of like a letter to these contractors and see what we can do as far as getting a quote. It won't be sealed, it won't be anything like that.
So we'll be targeting maybe the A1 and Harlan's and Larson's and Rugness.
And Helgeson's and
Helgeson.
La Harve.
and Lahar's.
Mhm. And if you want Yeagy's, I forgot that because he's so new, he hasn't done a lot of
Yeah,
work.
no, and I don't know if he's ever cleaned out a ditch.
I don't think so.
That would be,
I think just some tile, but
yeah.
I don't want to exclude anyone,
Yeah, you can send it to him, you may not.
you know, and if he
So-
responds, great, if not.
Explain to me if this is just an estimate, are they, can they be held to an estimate or?
I think it's gotta be a bid.
I don't get that part either.
I think if we did a bid, like we were talking yesterday, you would almost have to have an engineer's report.
Okay, so,
And then that would be specifics and he would have to come back and do that for a bid.
But how do we hold them accountable if it's?
It's just
not-
like any other estimate.
Really hold them accountable, that's the thing.
We don't hold them
Is
accountable.
when you do any other clean out, it's just,
I wanna know, what are we targeting? Does the engineer's report say how wide it should be on the bottom? See, when we do a ditch clean out, this is a natural stream that we're cleaning out. So it's probably gonna be varying,
Mhm.
and if we do much consistency, we'll probably get away from it being a repair.
And we don't have probably a hard bottom because it was natural, so it wasn't dug in the
Yeah,
first
that's,
place.
it's like, how do they know where to go to?
Oh, I
mean, it's
think,
just gonna be,
I think there'll be somewhat of a hard bottom there. Of course,
Yeah.
there's a lot of sand in that area probably, but
Right.
it's gonna be hard to tell. in some
that's one of
places.
those things where it's an experienced person on that machine that's gonna, so, don't know if they've never cleaned a ditch before, if that's a good,
We don't want this one to be their first one.
I don't think so either.
So if we
Right.
do requests for proposals, we can, and, they can, and we put in there, please price what it's gonna take to get from here to here,
Mhm.
what it's gonna take to replace a 6-inch outlet, an 8-inch outlet, things like that.
Mhm.
Price things out like that.
And
At least we
riprap.
can look at them and make a
Mhm.
determination what our best solution is.
Right.
Yep.
And timeline, what's
Yep.
your timeline?
Right.
I think we can get a pretty good idea without doing the
Spending a
whole
lot of money
bid
on it.
process. That's,
I think if,
Just give them all the information, let them go out and look at it.
Right. And if they don't want to, we can put a date on it that it has to be back by. If they choose not to go and give us a quote, then that's fine too.
what's our date gonna be?
I don't know. This just
You
came
want-
in yesterday, so here I am.
Do we wanna set it within 3 weeks or something?
That's,
Seems like that's plenty of time for them
That
to,
would be the 29th, but is it getting
So it's
too late in the spring then
soon
to
to start getting into the,
give them a 2-week timeline maybe?
is this area,
there's not a lot of
there's,
crop around there, is it?
I was gonna say is this the only pond land right here and possibly some right here? And
some right on the corner.
So we're going from here to here.
Mhm.
And I think Dale farms this.
Okay. I know there's some on the front.
So yeah, these are farmed and.
Is this is just all
This on the
trees?
edge here is farmed.
Okay.
So, yeah, through here, it's pretty wide tree area. But my guess is a lot of it's probably gonna get dumped on this side. See, the trees are on the other side.
Mhm.
But get down here, what do you do? I mean,
Well, those, I don't know when this was shot.
maybe a lot of those are gone.
Maybe they're gone, yeah.
Seems like it cleaned up.
So,
I don't really think 2 weeks is enough time for them to look at it and decide if they wanna tackle it.
I mean, you've got quite a list, I mean, it's not like there's just two different ones. You
I think
one of them.
if we give them 2 weeks to look at it, get back to us, and so the determining factors are gonna be what their costs, point A to point B, what their costs of the outlets to replace,
You have no idea how
per
many outlets.
outlet. Right, that's why you price it per outlet, per size.
So we know what it might be.
So the
It might-
22nd,
Yeah, back here to by the 22nd.
or the 21st, so that we can look at it on the 22nd?
Usually it comes in like the day we're meeting, by 9
Yeah, and it's
o'clock.
not gonna be sealed. I mean, they don't have to be sealed.
But we gotta have some structure about it too.
I would have it be, I mean, in an enclosed envelope so that they're not, I mean,
Here by 9 o'clock on the 22nd. Then we can
Yeah.
have it on our agenda to open them and
Mm-hmm.
make a determination.
Mhm.
Maybe Bill wants to be here for that, since he started the petition.
Yeah, I can't read some of the people on here. Jeff Anderson, Gerald Ruby, James Thorson, Phil Carson.
Also Jim is.
Oh, Dale Benson. Oh, Jordan Branstad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So I got the length, the outlet pipes, riprap.
Time frame.
And I don't know what kind of a range on the outlet pipes we wanna go, if we go from 6 to
I
12.
did 6,
or
8, 10.
Is that usually what it is?
I can't imagine it'd be much bigger than that.
Maybe look at one of the other bids that we did, and see what they identified there. But that,
Oh, on a different
DD
district.
11,
Okay.
when we did that, what did they identify for outlet pipes?
Okay.
Oh, by the way, when I was going around, person to person, I ran into somebody from DD 11 that was not happy with the rock pickup, or that didn't happen. I said, well, you could have called me. Well, I tried, and they kept telling me it was disconnected. I'm in the phone book.
On the main tile
And
project?
he said they got a hold of Mike, and Mike was supposed to let me know. This would have been Matthews. So he was not happy. The boys had to go out and pick up all the rocks.
Oh, so they did pick them up.
So that should be part of it, that picking up rocks is part of the project. And we're okay with burying the rocks at least 6 feet or whatever.
That's up to you.
It's been acceptable in other towns.
How about any tree removal? Past where we did,
Past where we did.
you know, where
How
we
far
did
did
take
we
out the
go?
trees.
Part of it though.
We didn't go to the other gravel road,
Okay.
I don't think. I'll have to look, because I still have all of it in here, but
I have to go drive by there now. I think
and maybe we did.
it's to make it a usable waterway, it's gonna have to have tree removal if it's in the way.
Trees are just don't need to be.
And the time to do it is when they're there, not to
Yeah.
try to address it later.
I just want to give them
So
as
that's-
many options as
Well,
we think could come up.
the price to do it's gonna have to include the tree removal where needed. Not as an extra.
Oh, you don't think so, as a different line item?
No, I think it should be part of they go out, they look at it and see how much tree removal is gonna be involved.
Well.
Okay.
To get the job done.
Get it done right. They're gonna be there, just will do it right.
I don't want a variable like that.
Okay. Anything else you can think of?
That's probably a good idea, because there's a lot of trees in there.
Cause they
It
could
could
say,
vary
well,
so
this one
much.
was kind of in our way when we swung and, yeah, no, what's it gonna take to accomplish the job?
Well, I can get started on that, and then we can talk about it later. Good. All right. Otherwise, I don't have anything.
Must be a sign of spring. Drainage is in the forefront.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Yes, you guys too.
Is there anything else that we didn't do in open forum?
I didn't realize that there was payroll still coming in like this a little bit, so, we're gonna start stamping payroll again.
So we're going back to the old way.
Sometimes, or it's for a few of the employees that don't have ES&S, so.
township trustee stuff. Well, do you think Lake Mills has much of a chance on tomorrow night?
Yes, I do.
Christian's got a pretty good center. An outside shooter that can hit threes really good.
How tall is their center?
He's about 6'8".
Who are they playing again?
Grandview Christian.
They had to go to overtime to beat the number 8 seed.
That's the point. If
What was like?
If they-
They're
Four.
4, they beat 5. Handily.
I was glad to see Garrigan, the girls win. I was very happy to see that because I really,
I missed that.
I firmly, when I first saw Audie Crooks, I thought she's got to shift it into another gear. And then when she played West Hancock, she not only shifted it into another gear, she was playing D1 ball out there. And it was so impressive to see her turn her game up. I think if Lake Mills plays the kind of game that they played yesterday, I don't see any reason why they can't beat Grandview Christian. Because they proved they can play a 1-3-1, they can play against a 1-3-1 and they can take on the 2-3 zone. So they've shown that they can do it.
What's their tallest guy? Is there really tall?
In Lake Mills?
Yeah.
He's 6'7".
He's 6'7", something like that, 6'7", 6'8".
Is he that tall?
But the thing of it is they've got speed and height.
Yeah,
And-
they have the speed, I know
I
that.
mean, when, my old school, for years, all we've had is speed and height, and that's why we dominate every single freaking year. Lake Mills is much the same way. They've got speed, they've got height, and they predict out there on the court really well. They know where the ball is gonna go, even off the rim. And that is so key, no matter what.
Yeah, that's,
If you see a guy taking a three-point shot, you go wide and you look for that rebound. You don't look for the
so
short
I
one.
try to tell the kids when I was helping coach the little stuff, I says, you kind of look at that. It doesn't always work out, but if you look at the angle they're shooting from, and where you think it's gonna hit on that rim or on that, you can anticipate where the ball is gonna go.
You gotta get the
It's so
offensive
hard to get
rebounds.
people to do that.
Yeah, you gotta get those offensive rebounds. That's the big key. And Lake Mills did that really well in their game. They didn't falter, which was important. I mean, if you're playing at St. Ed's where the rims are as soft as a pillow, okay, yeah, then you need to get in tight. But down there, no, you need to be out wide. Every year that the girls and the guys have gone down for West Hancock, those rims have been rock solid. They've been hard. So the ball comes flying off that rim. And Lake Mills predicted it well. They stepped out. They were outside the paint. They got the offensive rebounds and they put it up pretty quick because they were out of position. The defense was totally out of position. And so Lake Mills capitalized on that. Grandview Christian didn't study those rims. They didn't study them, and you could see because they were going to overtime, like he said. And they weren't getting the rebounds like they needed to. The key to this game coming up is going to be offensive rebounds, second chances,
Well,
and contested shots. You're gonna have contested shots all over the place, and I think that Lake Mills can handle that. I mean, good God. When they were going up against the Barnes boys with West Hancock, Barnes was in, I don't know how many people's faces, and it didn't matter. They were putting them away. So I think Lake Mills has got a very, very good chance of winning this thing. I really do. But they've got to get past Christian. They get past Christian, they've got it. They'll finish third at worst.
Yeah.
But I think that they have a solid shot at first place.
There's a bus going too,
are they
$30.
getting out of school early or just doing the 2 o'clock?
They didn't have school at all on Monday,
Yeah.
or yesterday.
I'm not sure what.
But
time
it's a
they're-
normal 2 o'clock let out. They could get down there in time.
I don't know if they're gonna do it early.
So they're gonna have the, well, in Britt's case, it was always the one nurse and the one police officer that were in town. Everybody else was gone. You guys don't have a hospital, so I guess it's gonna be the police officer.
There was a lot of North Iowa people from all the schools down there on Monday to see them.
This is, and I, after both games that Bliss Hancock played against them, I thought the same thing about Clary and Gofield Dows, but surprise, they were not. I really believe it.
There's no discussion about the Zoom, is everybody gonna
Well,
do
it's-
that?
it's just
That's
listed as
the
another meeting.
2 o'clock, so we're adjourned until 2, I guess.
Yeah.